Hello YouTube. What's up? It's day 16 of VEDA, and I was going to talk about um, school, but I looked on the calendar, and today's question is, do you drink? What is your favorite drink? Worst drinking story? Is there a particular alcohol you avoid because of a bad experience? Now, I don't drink anymore. When I was in college, I drank like a fish. Like Thursday through Sunday, I was just drunk. And then when I met my husband, he didn't drink. And so since I was mostly a social drinker, but even though I was a social drinker when I was in college, it had started to become like me just drinking by myself. Um, and he didn't drink, and he didn't encourage me to drink because a few years later he told me, he was like, "Yeah, you're kind of an alcoholic." So I just stopped. Thank God. And then after a while, like I would have a drink. I just stopped because he wasn't drinking all the time. Like my friends, we were just partying and drinking, and that's what we did. But I was in a different environment, so I just didn't drink. I didn't have any convictions about it, right? So, um, uh, a couple years later, I did kind of like there was a while where I just never had any drinks, and then I would have like I would go out or hang out with somebody or whatever and just have a drink or whatever. So, but I wasn't getting like really drunk or anything. Or okay, so but then recently I've just kind of had a thing with this because the Bible says clearly many, many times in the Old Testament and the New Testament that being drunk is a sin, right? But some people take that and say, well, being drunk is a sin. So if I just don't get drunk, then I'm not sinning. I can have one drink and be okay. And then some people say, well, what's the spirit behind that? Why why get close to the line? If you don't ever intend to be drunk, then why start drinking? Why drink? Why take a sip if being drunk is wrong? Why even go there? And I understand that. And so that was kind of the thing that made me think about it, because I began being after I'm single now, so I would have more opportunities to go out and find myself having the occasional drink more often. And then at one point I did go to a party and I got drunk, and I didn't plan on getting drunk, but it was again that thing, the social pressure was there for me to drink. And I had a drink, and then I'm talking, and another drink, and then okay, one more drink. But like when I was like, okay, I'm buzzed or drunk or whatever you want to call it, and I stopped, and then other people were continuing to drink. But at that point, I was like, I don't want to drink anymore. Like I don't want to be sick tomorrow and whatever. I did have a really bad headache the next day, but that kind of made me think, I don't want alcohol to be the thing that becomes an idol for me. I have so many other things that are actually very hard for me to overcome, that drinking doesn't need to be one of them. If I never had a drink again, I wouldn't care. Like, I don't enjoy alcohol that much. I've probably had one drink that I was like, this actually tastes very good. But everything, like I don't have to have it. It's just for me the pressure when I'm in social situations was the thing that kind of made me do it. And the last time I drank, actually it wasn't that long ago. It was maybe I want to say it was a couple months ago. I went out with some friends and I hadn't intended to have a drink, but everybody, they were like, oh, well, and it wasn't a whole lot of pressure, but I was like, okay, I'll have a drink. And then I took like a few sips of it. And then later on it was more drinks, and I was like, no, I don't want. And when I bought it, I was like, why did I get that? I didn't really want it. I didn't drink it, so I'm wasting my money. And yeah, so since then I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink when I go out anymore, and I haven't. I've gone out with friends; they've had drinks. I just didn't drink, and so yeah, that's where I am with drinking. I mean, it was for a while. It was just I was just going back and forth because it's not something that, like, I'm not at home. Used to have alcohol here because occasionally, like I might make a drink, or I bought it. I went to Hawaii and bought vodka, like just because it was okay. Um, I was used to having it, and I thought kind of along the same lines. If I have one drink and I'm not getting drunk, I'm fine. And I really had no intention of getting drunk again. Like, I've been drunk enough, and it's a sin, so that wasn't my thing. But you know, should I be having alcohol at my house? Should I, um, when I go out, have this one drink or whatever? And for me, I don't know, because well, okay, this is what I do know. I do know that I don't want it to be an issue. Like, I don't want to have one drink and not get drunk and then come home and think, man, am I going down the wrong path? Like, like, I don't want to think about it. So if I don't want to think about it, then I just don't do it. Like, it's not that serious. Alcohol is not that serious. So for me, for some other people, it may be a whole nother struggle. And I understand that. And maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to say this. So now I'm thankful that I can just say, for me right now, drinking is something that I can resist easily. I can remove myself from the situation. I'm getting better at just saying no to people who do drink, and I'm out with them and they want to have social drinks or whatever. Just getting better at just telling people no. Or just ordering water, or whatever else I want to drink is fine. Now, if I was somewhere and I had a sip of something, like if a recipe I'm using calls for alcohol, I'll buy it. I'll use it. I'll use a little bit, and that's it. Like, I don't. Alcohol for me doesn't need to be something that I struggle with. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. It took me 7 minutes to say it. I was trying to make this a quick video, but I hope you guys are having a good day. I am making cake balls later today, so if I have time, or depending on when I upload this video, I might put pictures of that up. So it's Friday. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Bye.